Hello and welcome, Gardner Business Index viewers. I'm Michael Gukas, Chief Economist and Director of Analytics with Gardner Intelligence. And in this video, we're going to go through the August 2020 results from the GBI. There were a lot of great things that came out of the data this month. I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. Also in this video, I'm going to share with you some secrets about diffusion indices, such as the GBI, but also other popular ones such as the Purchasing Managers Index. For August 2020, the Gardner Business Index registered 50.7, marking the first time since February that the index has registered an expansionary reading. And what this means is, again, just to clarify, the index looks at month-to-month changes in business activity levels. What this tells us is that from July to August, business activity levels improved from that prior month period. It does not mean that from a year ago, for example, that this August is better than the last August. All it's saying is that on a month-to-month basis, we've seen an improvement in business conditions. When we look at those business conditions by the 6 components which define the overall index, we can see a few things. The most encouraging news here is that production and new orders both registered expansionary gains for August. And that's very important because those two measures typically lead the other ones directionally. Now, in addition to that, it should be noted that supplier deliveries has been elevated ever since COVID began to disrupt supply chains. And the reason being that the reading for supplier deliveries increases as supplier deliveries slow down. And in a normal economic cycle, the reason why that happens is because upstream manufacturers, producers, and whatnot, they develop growing backlogs. Those growing backlogs result in slowing deliveries. And so when good times are occurring and those backlogs are increasing, we oftentimes see slowing deliveries. In this case, of course, COVID has simply disrupted supply chains so vastly that it is slowing down at a very high level all of those deliveries that would otherwise be occurring much faster. And it's for this reason that we're seeing this elevated supplier deliveries reading. Now, if we were to remove the supplier deliveries reading from the Gardner Business Index, you would see here that for August, we would have actually registered a 49.2 reading rather than the expansionary 50.7 reading that we have. Now, of course, all things considered, the fact that we have come back from a sub 30 reading in May to a reading of almost break even, which is by definition a reading of 50, is still very encouraging news. And I think that moving forward, there's good reason to believe that the manufacturing space will continue to see ever increasing numbers here for a lot of reasons. Not only do we expect new orders and export orders to continue to improve, as we showed you, they are expanding. But we also believe that other firms will continue to find ways to normalize their business practices in this new environment. And lastly, I want to share with you our indices by manufacturing process. As many of you may know, we track the business index along our subscription brands. And so you can see those are here. For August, we've seen expansionary readings for plastics, for precision machining, and for finishing. Some of our other indices are doing better. They're reporting slowing decline. And so that means that those numbers are rising, but the latest numbers are still below a rating of 50. In fact, for our plastics technology index, August represents the second consecutive month of expanding activity. So thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate all of you who are out there filling out our surveys, helping us to know what is happening in your industries, in your part of the manufacturing space. And we would encourage you to continue to do that so that we can come back and report that information at an aggregated level to you so that we can all see how COVID and how the business cycle continues to impact manufacturing. Thank you so much for your time. Again, I'm Michael Gukas with Gardner Intelligence.